one of the big things that I've noticed is we're definitely not in 2008. So with the recession hit, you're probably looking at from a total unemployment rise around 22 to 23 million folks looking for work. Now the benefit is in IT, IT's average unemployment is under 4%. But when you get very granular in looking and pertaining in the fields of SQL, the average field of SQL unemployment is around 2.4 to under 2%. So there is a variation, but we actually put out around 4 months ago. We put out an email, and actually it was under 2. So it has risen a little bit, but from a standpoint, we're in a very good place. So how can we capture and really evaluate what we want to achieve as far as to capture the market share, and in addition really put our best foot forward. So in getting some stats from Career Builder, Dice, and Monster, and other folks, from an analysis, a very interesting and also an alarming fact, most of the folks that are in the SQL professional field, 70% of the majority have 6 to 15 years of experience. So there's going to be a gap within the next 5 years that you're going to see where, if we're not mentoring today's juniors or folks are not getting in the field, we're going to have a really huge talent crunch within the SQL arena. Some of the top titles that have been posted within like Career Builder and Dice are SQL DBAs, BI developers, SQL Server developers. In addition to that, there also has been a trend down in the educational field for computer science degrees. While I'm a firm believer that I definitely respect folks that get into an academic piece, now it's a lot different than it used to be. When I started my career 15 years ago as a web developer, you didn't need a degree. You just had to pick up, learn, and do it. But now, folks are companies more and more are starting to require degrees. So it's figuring out a gap in which we can kind of bridge, whether it's through mentorship programs, partnering up with schools. I know here locally with the Pragmatic Works Foundation, we're starting to partner up with more schools and universities to help, thrive and liven those programs up to get more graduates in the door. In a snapshot in the recent DICE report that came out, there is a huge recession hitting, and there's going to be a very shortage of IT graduates. So the demand for top talent in the SQL field is going to be, like I said, at a huge critical tipping point within the next 5 years of trying to get more folks in the field. So when you're doing a comparison, comparing folks that are looking at, as job seekers, consultants looking in the field, they did an interesting analysis when you're pairing up as opposed to like a recruiting agency and internal HR. What I found interesting is from a large survey, most folks were trying to get more product knowledge as opposed to where more of HR and recruiting companies are looking more on skills base. So I found that very interesting in the fact that, I wish it dug a little bit more on the particular products, whether it's, on the SQL side relating to the BI stack specifically, or if it was more SharePoint related. I will find out some more facts. If you do have some questions, I'll definitely do my due diligence and research and find out some more information for you. But it was a nice comparison to see the differences between what professionals in the field are trying to better themselves up as opposed to the current demands and talents from an employment standpoint. So one of the good synopsis to look at is the states and major markets. The top cities right now, the top states right now are California, Texas, New York, Florida, and New Jersey. They actually hold 5% each of all the job seekers today. So one of the benefits, here at Pragmatic is, in doing a lot of nationally, we deal with a lot of consultants that go out to various companies, and we've seen that talent crunch in definitely areas. and we're happy to service them, but when it comes to an internal need, how can we cultivate and build the challenge to, find more folks? So some of the things that they've looked at in terms of, evaluating opportunities, whether you're someone that's looking to get into the field, or, you've been at it for about 5 to 10 years, or you're basically running your own consulting practice as kind of your own corp-to-corp incorporated individual. I've been doing this business for about 6 years, and I always see the same things, and it's interesting to see the variations. Most people look at the top 3 things when I interview a lot of candidates that are coming to interview for Pragmatic, always looking for that advancement, stability position, compensation, the recognition to help build your brand. Then you have your typical benefits, schedulings, paid time off, as where more companies in general, whether it's a small, mid-level, are looking more of salary and not the advancement. Probably the #1 thing I've heard is recruiting either locally here from other companies or nationally is probably the 3 top complaints is, I'm not getting compensated properly, I'm kind of stuck in one area for my expertise, I'm not allowed to branch out, there's no opportunity I've kind of hit the ceiling already quickly within my tenure, within the first couple of years. How can I build myself and get myself to the next level where I'm satisfied, but yet, I'm not taking a cut in salary in getting that. So as one of the things I wanted to do in kind of as a fun way to kind of break the monotony here is this is a picture of my 5-year-old son, Will, and he's a big jokester. So as I go into between these sections, I'm going to have jokes with my 5-year-old son, Will. So, his recent joke actually that he hit me up with yesterday was, "Daddy, why did the puppy dog sweat?" So survey says, because he was a hot dog. So it seems I'm having some audio issues, so I'm sorry if you guys aren't getting it cut out here. But I'd like to move into, we've kind of assessed the market needs and how can I capture that into a resume and really start to build up my brand and capture the things they've done that I've done in the past. So one of the things that I would say is when your resume and you're dealing with that, please keep things very concise and clear. Talk to me about the environments. When you're interviewing for a company or trying to build up your own brand where you're happy where you're at, if someone asks you what you do, don't make them kind of guess. If you're a DBA, are you an operational DBA? Do you do a lot of performance tuning? Don't make me have to guess and pull what you do. Tell me.